Hello, everyone. I'm Sign1News anchor Vanessa Paloma Bajarnik. Here's a quick look at the top trending international news stories making headlines today in ISL. If you post an interesting comment about this update, we may add it at the bottom of the screen. According to a medical official from the National Health Commission, nearly 60,000 people have died of COVID-19 in China since December 2022. That's when the country ended its zero COVID policy. The World Health Organization and the United States have accused China of underrepresenting the severity of its current outbreak. According to statistics released on China's CDC website, 37 deaths were reported from local COVID cases. Authorities in Brazil say 277 people are currently in jail for allegedly participating in the invasion of federal government buildings last Sunday. They were protesting the inauguration of new President Lula da Silva and showing their support for former President Jair Bolsonaro. Now, officers who were supposed to secure government buildings are being accused of being lenient on the protesters on the day of the riot. But the head of the security says his officers were set up to fail by Bolsonaro allies on the security team. President da Silva has called for tough actions to stamp out any acts of collusion within security forces in Brasilia. At least 6 people are injured after a man attacked a crowd of people in Paris. One person is in critical condition. Officials say it happened at Gare du Nord around 6:45 in the morning local time. The French Interior Minister says a group of off-duty police officers jumped into action and shot the suspect several times. He is now in critical condition and being treated for his injuries. The minister says the weapon used in the attack was made by the suspect, and it is not a knife. A motive is not yet known. Iran's prosecutor has ordered police to crack down on women violating the country's hijab or veil law. Typically, women could face 10 days to 2 months in jail for violating the law. Now, they will face many more punishments like fines, travel bans, and no access to public services. And people encouraging women not to wear the hijab will face even harsher punishment, like 1 to 10 years in jail. Prosecutors in Japan have indicted the murder suspect behind the fatal shooting of former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Abe died last year on July 8th after being shot while giving a campaign speech on a street in central Japan. According to the prosecutor's office, The shooting suspect faces charges of murder and violating the firearms control law for the shooting. The suspect has been undergoing psychiatric evaluation since his arrest to determine whether he is mentally fit to stand trial. Uganda formally declared the end of the Ebola outbreak this week. 56 people in the country have died from the disease since the outbreak was declared on September 20th, 2022. 143 cases were reported across 9 districts. But there have been no new cases reported in the past 113 days. However, health and government leaders urge people to still remain vigilant and to report anyone in the community that has Ebola-like symptoms. A luxury ship in India made history this weekend. The MV Ganga Vilas is traveling 3,200 kilometers of waterways. According to organizers, it is the world's longest river cruise. The ship will travel along the Ganges, India's holiest river, and other waterways through 5 states in western India, then into Bangladesh and other big cities along the way. The ship has 18 suites that will carry 36 passengers plus about 48 crew members. India's Prime Minister says the river cruise will usher in a new age of tourism for the region. And finally, a funny mishap at a shop in Brazil was caught on video. And now it has gone viral on social media. The video shows a man closing up his shop. He places a big heavy lock bar under the garage door and then turns away. The lock bar falls and slams down on the foot of an older man sitting on a bench. The man is actually the other man's father-in-law. After checking to make sure his father-in-law is okay, the man tries again to put up the lock bar. And again he walks away, and again the lock bar falls. This time, it hits the father-in-law right across his head. Fortunately, the old man is said to be doing just fine. He only had a few bruises from the injuries. Thank you all for watching. Sign1News will be broadcasting international news updates every Sunday. A big thank you to our Sign1News app supporters. You help make this broadcast happen. You can download the Sign1News app by heading to the App Store or Google Play Store on your smartphone. And you can also watch on Apple TV, Amazon, and Roku.